Okay, we're live.
Hello.
I know it's been a while since we've done this.
It has. It has. Stuff up here.
I meant to
Um,
go back and find out what we talked about in the last episode, and I'm just like,
yeah,
I can't remember what channel it's on. If it was on this one
I think it's
or the
CTN
yeah,
Productions. I think.
that's what I was thinking. It's like it's on the Two Ton Nerds. I'm like, oh man, okay. So how far? I will go back and figure it out so I can put the proper in here. But it's just like, oh man, I'm trying to like get everyone who I usually talk to on the channel this year, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I only have like a few days left in October, so I'm like, let's just try to make it happen.
Yeah.
So,
So the cat may intervene. I do apologize.
oh, you're good. No, trust me, it's fine. Like, I have a cat that likes to join me every once in a while, um,
Oh,
so her name's Kemper, so she likes to
that's
come
good.
with me. Um, so yeah, we're just we, we're not going to be talking anything specific, but you were talking about right before we went live. Like I'm like, oh, yeah, we get this on camera on live. Is you were talking about the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, right?
Yeah, because so it's like obviously during October I sort of binge my like horror movies. That's like my favorite sort of month to do it. Like every night it's sort of like a horror movie for me. Um, yeah, I was talking about remakes and I just like I don't mind most. I know that's quite a biased opinion. Most a lot of horror fans they don't really like remakes. Like Rob Zombie's Halloween gets slated. Um, I think I think Saigo had a remake. They had like a really bad. It was like a shot for shot remake.
Yeah, like
I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm thinking of. And then
yeah,
the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I think because Freddy Krueger,
this one.
he wasn't. Yes, yeah, that's the one. He was never like a paedophile. He just murdered children.
Right.
So and they just sort of changed his character to like, but it was I didn't like. I didn't know. I know it's just like a weird change, and then the characters didn't seem very memorable either. It's just, and again, honestly, nothing to do with the actor. It's just, I think the Freddy was CGI as well, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really like that.
I think
Um,
a lot of the make. I think there was practical makeup on him, but then they
hmm.
enhanced it with CGI, which I think was like it's kind of like when they did with the Thing remake, where like they
Yes, I think yeah, my uncle didn't like that. He talked quite excessively about that.
yeah yeah it's like if you watch all the like the behind the scenes footage of like say Nightmare on Elm Street the remake and the Thing prequel remake, like they use practical effects, but then they're just like let's just use CGI and to enhance everything. I'm like no, like I'm like you can't do that because of the originals. You know, like they're like even in like the original Nightmare on Elm Street series, there's like special effects, but they're not like there to enhance. They're just there to kind of enhance the dreams and stuff like that. It's not really
Yeah,
to take a load off like to whatever. You know, it's like oh no, it's like it's there to like enhance to like something like in Dream Warriors. Like that's a lot of that is like special effects. Like when Freddy's in the
but
sky.
it fits it though, doesn't it? It just is.
Yeah,
It just works, There's practical and there's bits of. There's just not tons of it like you would get in a lot of stuff nowadays.
exactly.
It's
Where
just simple, it's nice. It's.
like exactly like it's just there to like I keep using this term, enhancing the scene, but it's like, but where they rely on CGI too much, and I think that's what a lot of the remakes had. Like Nightmare on Elm Street was kind of doomed, anyways. I think it's just because, like you said, it had nothing to do with the actor who played Freddy, and just the characters weren't memorable. It's just like it. I think it was Like I did like the Friday the 13th remake. I thought that was done really well.
Yeah,
So
isn't it parts 1, 2, and 3, I believe? Like the
yeah,
first sort of three sort of mashed sort of together. Because you got the guy, I think, looking for his sister, which is part 2, I think. And then you got sort of the origin, obviously, which is kind of like part 1. Because you're pretty sure he gets his mask pretty. Because originally he doesn't get his mask till part 3. He doesn't even have it until. So
right.
like, so I think he gets it pretty early on in the sort of the remake.
Yeah, it's like he has the burlap sack in the the second movie, and then he gets the hockey mask in the third movie, and then and like you said in the remake, they kind of they kind of speed the process up along. Hey, Echo. Yeah, I'm a little clean shaven today.
Yeah. uh, but
Thanks. Echo. He's a friend that I talk to quite regularly, and like who I stream with sometimes as well. So Echo's pretty cool. Like he does a what's it called? What's he does a lot of like B movies and stuff like that. Like if he like I always take me and him always talk about like Sharknado movies and a few like Kevin Smith movies as well. So it's like we got a nice.
are they still going? I, oh my god, I forgot all about them. Like, I totally forgot they existed for a minute because I thought they're so milked. They're silly good, aren't they? They are like silly good movies, but it's just I don't know. I remember going up to the fourth,
Yeah,
and there was like a fifth one. I don't know if there's any more after that.
yeah,
But
yeah. Echo.
Uncle loves them.
He's been cursed to watch bad movies for the rest of his life. Yeah.
I blame my uncle for he loves them. I was just like, I'm like, come on, man. It's like you introduced me to stuff way better than this. Like, why we should watching this? He thinks he's told me he loves a film called Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Like,
I mean, yeah.
I I,
There are some
I
movies
don't know.
the where it's just so bad it's good, but there are just some that are just horrible. Like, and I'm already going to know which one I'm going to mention. Like, have you watched The Amazing Bulk?
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm waiting for Echo's response on this one. Yeah, so don't. It is like legit terrible. It's not even funny. It's like it's what you would show to people to torture people. It's what it is basically.
Oh, damn. Oh, I do.
Yeah, you just repeat what I'm saying.
So I have been working on. Speaking of all things horror, something I'm working on. So this is gonna be my wall.
Okay.
It's not done, but I'll give you a little.
Oh,
Let's take it up slowly. This is just a combination of anything horror. Yeah, I'm slowly sort of making a collage. Um, hopefully you can see all right.
yeah.
But yeah, I've got so it's like a mix of anything horror. There's like old, new. I got that from Amazon a little while ago. It's like a classic sort of advertisement for Friday the 13th. That's from a Blu-ray box set of the thing. That
Oh,
actually came inside of it. And yeah, so I plan to have this as like a backup at some point. So it, it's what I'm doing when I'm bored. So,
I as you can
so
tell behind me, I'm kind of doing the same. You know, I got a little bit of everything down over in this corner.
cool.
Have
I thought there were Easter eggs in those boxes though.
have you watched?
I thought,
Oh, these are Power Rangers right here.
oh shit! Oh really?
Yeah. So hold on, I gotta pick one off, or the shirt will fall. Yeah, they're like the Super Seven line. I don't know if you know, like, so they're just like that.
Oh okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Once I get a new shelf down here, I will have them properly displayed. But this is the only way I can display them right now. So
That's cool.
Have you
That's
watched
cool.
Have you watched anything new lately? Like, I haven't. I haven't really had a chance to watch anything new myself. Like, I've been trying to watch. What I'm trying to think movie I've been trying to
There
watch for.
was one particular movie that I did watch. It's not
Okay.
horror though, but it was one of those movies that a lot of people were waiting for a long time, and that's of course Deadpool and Wolverine. I
Oh, okay.
yes, I was very happy to watch that. Very good film.
I got to. I actually that's the newest movie I got to go see. Movie because I went to go see the '89 Batman in theaters because like sometimes how they like at least at my theater sometimes they will like show like they will do like Fathom events and stuff like that where they'll like
Yeah.
it's like the 35th anniversary or whatever, so they'll show some like older movies and I'm like, oh, Batman, that's the only one I haven't seen on big screen, and it's like, oh, so much fun. And they haven't really done any good movies this month. Like last year they played They Live. Um,
Oh, yeah.
what I managed to see Christine. They did something else, and they had like a nice like range of horror movies, older horror movies. But I'm just like, oh man! But I caught it at the last one, which was Christine. But it was still a lot of fun to see Christine on the big screen for the first.
John Carpenter, right, Christine?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize Stephen King didn't really like that adaptation. I thought that was one of after reading the book, I was like, oh man, like I kind of like both versions equally. Like I don't like the movie doesn't need to explain why the car is haunted, but I like knowing how the car is haunted in the book, if that makes sense. It's like the movie makes I just the movie didn't need that in my opinion. It's like it just like the car is just evil. I'm like that's sometimes that's just things are evil, you know.
Yeah, pure evil.
um. So okay, I think I think one of the last times we talked, we were talking about Halloween movies, and I've been trying to catch up. I've been trying to catch up. Like, what'd you think of the new Halloween trilogy?
I tell you what, I
Okay.
was very, very biased at first because when I heard about Halloween Ends,
Mhm.
I heard Michael Myers is not much in it, and I instantly thought, well, it's not really Halloween then, is it? Like, but when I watched it, my uncle put it on with me. He's the one who's like, trust me. Plus, the bit at the beginning of the kid, like, own kid's fault. May I add, that was the own kid's fault.
Yeah.
That kid, yes, the one just splats out of nowhere. I laughed when that happened the first time. I'll be honest. I never normally laugh at something like that, but I laughed because of the fun and the sound effect. But I like the idea of what they were going for because I like the fact they acknowledged that he was old. Because if you look at the old sequels and stuff, he still moves around like he's really young. But I like that they took it with a realistic approach.
Mhm.
Of the way I was looking at it. So it's kind of like he had like a protege, and it was really cool, honestly. And I reckon if he lived, spoiler, they might have continued that way. Honestly, it would have been really interesting. It's kind of like the idea of what they're going to originally do with Jamie Lloyd's character from Halloween 4. 'Cause, you know, at the end where she stabs her mother, it. I felt like they were going to do like a similar thing. In fact, they actually proceed with it, but
Okay.
it didn't happen. Because that's the idea. I feel like they went for there. That's what they're trying to do. That's what it really reminded me of. And I was like, that'd be cool because I think even Daniel Harris said she thought like Halloween 5, you know, she was going to be like his little protege, and that would be cool. Interesting to see someone take his mantle and sort of. But it was kind of it did kind of have that a little bit, which is cool.
Yeah.
So I ended up really liking it for that
So
fact. It was different.
I had to like I at first I really liked it, and then I went back on it, and then I liked it again because I kind of then I watched it with Halloween. You know, like I watched the '78, and then I watched the trilogy, the last three, and then I'm like, okay, I can totally see it, but like my only problem I think I finally narrowed it down. Like what my biggest problem with the new trilogy was is that they
Mm.
did like I wish that the Corey stuff, with the kid falling and everything, like
Yeah,
I wish that would have happened in like the first movie. We we see him being like that particular incident happen at the very beginning, and then we revisit it in the last movie to kind of like after the events of the first two newer ones, and then they're like, you know what? Like, how about this dude? He killed a kid, and let's kind of like let's kind of pick on him now, since Michael's disappeared at this point, and I'm just like, okay, I'm like, I would have liked the Corey stuff just kind of came a little out of nowhere. I wish they would have like hinted at it, like maybe like oh like talk maybe like a news report or something, like you hear like maybe they talk about it, but. Um, it just that was my only problem. Like other than that, I liked it. Like I did like the fact that they were doing like a protege kind of aspect of it all, and I did like. How'd you like the ending? We're getting into real spoiler territory now. If you haven't seen
mm.
like what they did with Michael's body and everything.
Is he dead? That's the question.
Yeah.
In my opinion, evil never truly dies, as the
Right.
saying goes. Because the amount of times he's come back from things that would normally kill a normal man.
Right.
But in the classic words of Loomis, we're talking about him if he's a normal human being. Because there's a lot of things to look at here. And I've seen some going around lately, and I don't know if it's true. A new Halloween poster that says Halloween Aftermath.
Oh.
So, and I was just like, another Halloween movie? It's like, because out of all the ways I've seen Michael Myers disposed of, again, spoilers. If you haven't seen any, I mean, if you've seen Halloween, you must have seen them all by now. But I don't know. I felt like that's one of the kills I've seen that you can't really come back from.
Right.
I don't know how you could come back from that, but the only thing I can think, but the only thing that could normally back up, well, what about Coy? But no, again, spoiler, he's dead. Um, but,
And they
but I don't know what would happen or how would you go about doing that. There'd have to be some kind of, you'd have to bring another more supernatural aspect to it.
right. And
Um,
and that's kind of like what the new trilogy didn't really have is that supernatural element. It seemed pretty
mm,
great for the most part, and so I'm just like
mm.
I have like really racked my brain like how would they like continue Halloween now? Like no one wants it to start over. We don't need another time. Like
We've had like there's four timelines essentially.
right,
Um, that's excluding Rob Zombie, and I call it the anthology timeline, which is Halloween 3, which is the sort of standalone, but which only has one movie in that sort of timeline. That's just its own thing, a separate realm.
but yeah, I was like, um, I have another movie that I've been racking my brain about, which I'll get to in a second. But like, I'm just curious as to like how they would continue the Halloween. Like they would have to like. I really don't know like how they would continue this without starting over or starting somewhere in the middle. It's like they like spoilers they mulched him. They put him in a giant meat grinder essentially, and they just like that's his body. And he's dead. And they slit his throat. They basically cut his head off. And then they threw his body in the meat grinder. And
Definitely one of those brutal ways he's been done off in, and
right.
I mean, there's a couple of things I can think of. One, they could do originally what they want to do all those years ago, make it anthology. That
Hmm.
is, in my opinion, that is the most logical sort of way they could go around making more Halloween movies. It'd have to be around different stories completely. But then again, I reckon there'd always be those people. So I'd be all for an anthology style Halloween
Hmm.
because what they done this one, that could be the Michael Myers trilogy. Then if they really want to make another 3-part of a different story thing and make that trilogy, that's fine. but you could do trilogy stories and
Oh,
y- you could do that. That'd be a fun little idea. But I know what a lot of people will be like, oh, but Michael Myers. Yeah, I love Michael Myers too myself, and I do. But you see, like one of the ones in my opinion that had like a thing that was a clever storyline was, in my opinion, Halloween 6, Ghost of Michael Myers. To me, that is one of the really good ones.
um,
Um,
Echo has a good theory on his. Like, he says, "Do you think they teased us with the season of the witch by having the mask appear in Halloween Kills?
oh,
Like, could
as in like a whole new reboot for that movie.
oh,
Oh, you know what? Honestly, as far as my favorite Halloween movies go, Halloween 3 is actually in my top five.
oh, really?
It does appeal. Yeah, because it's a guilty pleasure. The first time I watched it, I was really puzzled by it, and then the more I watched it over the years, I'm like, this is actually a really good movie.
Like, you can
Like,
know it has that weird moniker as Halloween 3, but it's just like, but knowing that was supposed to be a horror anthology, but it's a great standalone movie.
I
I think we,
watched it recently. Always love watching it from time to time. It's
yeah.
just I can put it on and enjoy it.
I haven't watched it this year, so it may be one of my movies that I watch because I love what's his I can't think of his name. The actor who's in
Uh,
the
Tom Atkins.
yeah, yeah. So
I think he went to the love of horror. My uncle, I think he's pretty sure he went to go meet him.
uh-huh.
The love of horror in England. Yeah, it's a love of horror convention in England. I really wanted to go, but I lacked the funds at the current time.
Oh
But
man,
I would have loved to meet Tom Atkins and say like, look, I actually really like Halloween 3, like one of my favorite ones. I know a lot of people ridicule it. Is that the Halloween box set? I think it is because I
is
recognise the casing.
yeah. It's the one that
That
has
is that the Scream Factory.
yeah the one that has the
Yeah, good company. Yeah.
it's like the one that has the exclusive cut. Like you can get it by itself, but like the one that has both versions of it in the
Yeah,
set.
because the other version, that's the scene is not much longer, but there's so much more goriness because the bit, when Marge Gutman, when she sort of scratches the little logo, she gets that. Normally, it cuts out when she's holding her face down, but I've seen it before where you actually see the whole goriness, and I was like, why is that not kept in normally?
Right.
Because
I think we talked about. I think we did a producer's cut video. I think we did.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I'm just plugging out other videos.
yeah,
But go ahead. Sorry.
but like. So I don't own that version because, but my disc, funny enough, when I originally had it in like the old DVD box, it was a 15. Then I got it singly as an 18 years later, and I'm like, so I wondered if I actually had the extra scenes left in, but it wasn't still. It's like, oh, but they bumped it to an 18 over here.
Oh, did it really? Yeah. So like this
Hmm.
is the producer's cut,
Oh, okay.
the theatrical
Oh, you
one.
see now.
Yeah.
I do
So
prefer producer's cut, honestly.
yeah, I think we
I
both agree.
prefer it. Yeah.
So speaking of sequels, I don't think we got to talk about. We haven't. I don't think we've ever talked about this one yet. But how'd you like Evil Dead Rise? The newer Evil
It's
Dead.
okay. I think it's all right. Again, like I say, no, I generally enjoy most of it because growing up, I've appreciated original versions of horror movies, and I quite like them. I do like Evil Dead because they're kind of like their own thing, but it's done well, if you know what I mean, like the story wise and great effects. I can't remember
Oh,
which one it is.
I can't deny that from Evil Dead Rise. Like the special effects were top notch and practical, and like we were talking about earlier, like the use of CGI was very very minimal, and so it didn't
Yeah,
really take away from the scenes and everything. Like, um, it didn't like that's CGI like crap, but like you weren't focused on that. You were like you could actually feel like there was something physical on screen, and that's what I will give props to Evil Dead Rise with that one. I do have my own little problems with Evil Dead Rise, but I think, but Um, but yeah, like I have a video that I have planned in the near future, very soon. That like how I would write the next Evil Dead movie, and
Hmm.
I'm just like but it would be able to like incorporate everything. Like this would be like how everything gets connected, and like this would be like the Doctor Strange in the multiverse kind of movie for the Evil Dead movie. So like Bruce Campbell himself has gone on record and saying like there's multiple books. Like that's how that one book is in the apartment complex, and
Yeah.
then we have the ones in the woods and stuff like that. And then I think you said there's like one more book out there, and so I'm like, I think the last book would be the one that's probably the more important one of the bunch, but that's just for right now. But I just wanted to know what you thought because, like, to me, it felt a little off being inside of a apartment complex. Even though I thought,
Yeah. Like if it wasn't if you took out like the main sort of thing, it would just feel like a wreck movie, I guess.
yeah,
It would kind of feel like that, or in America it's called Quarantine, the American version,
yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. But it kind of felt like them movies, but not in a bad way. That's kind of what it felt like to me. If you was to move, the main sort of thing with the movie, if that wasn't called that, I'd think it's on them kind of movies. That's what I personally think it is. But yeah, it was a bit weird with that approach. If I'm honest, it was again not saying it's not a bad movie. It's
I will watch it. Like I'm not. It's not one of those movies or sequels. Like like I have to like watch you just or like I don't have to watch, but I'm like, oh, if I want to do like a whole Evil Dead marathon, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is I'm not going to skip it or anything like that. I would like, um, oh yeah, I forgot about the yeah was forgot there was an Evil Dead Bible out there, like where I can't talk today. Uh, Sam Raimi was talking about how he's basically laid everything out and everything. Which they're pretty cool. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. But I have like like this is one of the few franchises where I'm like I would like to have a crack at it at writing it. Like I don't normally say that with a lot of franchises, but I'm like the Evil Dead movies seem like I would like to like give my 2 cents in trying to write like a movie, and so I'm like that's what a future video will be about. But like my only like one of my biggest problems with Evil Dead Rise is that they had a wood chipper in there that like it was so convenient that they had this giant wood chipper to like in the in the like the whatever it's called the Rat King kind of demented ball of people um,
yeah,
that was my biggest problem about it is like it just seemed a little too like oh wood chipper that kind of moment. It was just like it could have been cool if they dropped an elevator on her. Like that would have been cool. Like use the complex itself to kill it.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I do get you mean with that. Actually, it's like because like yeah, because I felt like there's always been things like that in Evil Dead, and then it feels like because it's Evil Dead is known for sort of like wacky things like that, and that I would have loved to see some of that. That sounds really cool, if I'm honest.
Like but
Are you still there?
I do like the wood chipper scene regardless. It's like it's them being fed into a wood chipper and blood going everywhere. Like I'm like you can't deny that. That's cool, but it's just like the where how it got placed in the movie is like that's what's I have a problem with.
Um,
Like I still will watch it again. Like I think I've like talked about it past, but it's just like I
oh damn.
was like I still gotta watch it just because it's still really good. It's a lot of fun in some points. Oh, okay. We lost Michael there for a moment. um, so I'm not quite sure what to do. But yeah, I'll just continue talking for a moment and see maybe he'll join. Click the link again. But trying to think what else I have planned for tonight. I plan on watching the Maxine. That's my movie for tonight. I'm going to be doing laundry and watching Maxine. I've saved it for tonight because I really wanted to like save it for a day off and everything. And then I was going to try and put the Hocus Pocus Lego set together tonight, but I um, was just like, you know what? I'll save it for closer to Halloween because we still got about a week and some change till Halloween. Yeah. So I'm trying to think what else I have planned for this week. I do have, like, I think I mentioned earlier where I was like, I want to watch movies that I've seen quite a few times this week for the week before Halloween, and then the week of Halloween start watching movies that I have not actually seen. Oh, here we go. Echo. I wish they released the Evil box set for Evil Dead movies that come with Army of Darkness, not just that groovy collection, whatever they call it. Yeah, this one, right? The Screwhead edition, like you're talking about that one. um, oh, sorry. Yeah, the one that has that really long box set where, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry, I misread that. But yeah, it's um I wish they would read. We want a proper Evil Dead set. Um. Okay. Okay. Michael will be back in a minute. Cool.
I'm back. I'm so sorry about that.
You're good. It's no problem.
My
Um.
Wi-Fi cut out. I'm so sorry. I was glad you're still going. I was like, oh no.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was going. Do you have like okay? I'll just kind of play off what I just said. Like, do you have any movies that you watch specifically during this time of this month?
So kind of like as if it was like a ritual, sort of like my sort of go-tos,
Oh
like
yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah,
Okay. Obviously Halloween.
yeah,
um, it was really nice watching Nightmare on Elm Street movies again. Honestly, that was really fun to watch again, and I'm
Which
probably gone.
which, which Nightmare on Elm Street is your favorite?
Um, Also, my uncle's favorite, and it might be a lot of people's favorite. It's probably Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
Um, Definitely one of my favorites because it had a young Lawrence Fishburne in it, and he had hair.
yeah.
I love that. Obviously, because he was Morpheus in the Matrix,
I think he's
but
credited.
I think he's called Larry Fishburne or something. Then
That's fine.
it was really weird, and I was just like, I was like, why is his name like that? And then I learned in other movies, like Paul Rudd, he's called like Paul Stephen Rudd
Yeah.
in Curse. But yeah, I really like Dream Warriors
Uh,
because I felt like that was a good.
oh, okay.
The big
So
one.
I don't know if you,
Oh,
I don't know if you have it over there, but did you see the big groovy box set of the Evil Dead movies that excluded Army of Darkness?
excluded it.
Yeah. So, um, the, so a different company owns Army of Darkness. Okay. So
Okay.
and so they released this really cool, awesome looking box set that has all three seasons of Ash versus the Evil Dead in the first two movies, and I think does it? I don't think it includes the remake either, but it excluded Army of Darkness, and because of some other company owns it, and I'm just like, that's bother, and it went up to, I can't believe it's really that much now. It was only like 100, like you said, it was only like $100 set, and now it's like, oh, almost 750. Wow.
But it doesn't even include. I don't know. That seems like a bad deal. No, I felt like if you used to have a box set called like the Groovy sort of thing, it
Yeah.
should include like everything. With a name like that, that's kind of wrong. I felt like you're getting like I don't know, kind of shafted there by that sort of thing. It's
They're going to double dip. They're going to make people double dip hard with that one. They're like, now includes Army of Darkness. It's like they're going to make people like. I know I double dipped quite a bit with the Evil Dead series, but at least I did it like properly. I started with DVDs, Blu-ray, then I moved up to 4Ks. Um, but yeah, I'm just like, I hate that. Bothered me. Like, I think that's what really stopped me from buying that set, was because it didn't have that movie in there. And even though I own it like in a couple different forms, but it was just like, uh
I
it was a
I
bad.
think what I think speaking of stuff missing, I think my first original sort of Halloween complete box. Well, I wouldn't be called complete. So I had Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't have. I don't. Oh, that's right. I don't think it had 6.
Oh,
It had H2O and it didn't have Resurrection. That was before the complete sort of box set. So it was really weird. It was missing 6 and Resurrection, but it had H2O. So it's like 5 H2O. It was really weird. So I got rid of that as soon as it's just I didn't really like that box. It was horrible because I don't think again I think it's to do with licensing and
mhm.
stuff like that. So that's why it wasn't included. I really do not like box sets like that. It's so and it's like no, I couldn't. It's like if
Uh,
they had like a box set that had like the Nightmare films and it only had that's right. There was this Hellraiser Blu-ray, so it had I think it had 5, 6,
oh
and
yeah,
I think it missed out Deader, and then it had Hellworld.
yeah.
Because I think 7 is the hardest one to find.
What
I
is it?
think Deader, Hellraiser Deader, which I quite like that one. But I think it's the only one as well that's not on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to. This one, right?
Yes,
Yeah. See,
I think that's
I always thought 3 was one of the hardest ones to find, and I had the only way I could buy 3 was when it was like doubled up with 4, and then
oh,
I have 4 by itself. So I that was the only way I could get 3 at the time. And now they have that nice like quartet box set out,
mm.
and like, it comes with the first 4 movies, and I'm just like, oh man, all on Blu-ray or 4K or whatever what it is.
Yeah. I was my uncle showed me that box set, and there was a kind of like when they had like like produced Halloween, they had like this producer's version of number 4 Bloodlines.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's actually so much better because it's not in a flashback order, it's actually in a proper order.
right.
And it's so different in places, and I think it's a better movie. I don't know why these things are not released straight away at the time. It's just like, that's what makes me like, that's on my wish list on Amazon because I've seen it. I found that box set, it has in, but it's rough in some areas because, the way it was filmed, because obviously it never got
Right.
finished doing all the fine work to it. But it's so much better, that version. I was just like, why is it just not released normally? It's so, I hate it. I feel like some of these movies get shafted. These other versions are so much better and superior. Because once you watch these versions and you go back to the other version, it's just like I can't. I need the other version.
Uh, so I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but it's Southland Tales.
No,
And
I haven't.
okay, so it has The Rock and Sean Scott, Sarah Michelle Gellar. It even has Kevin Smith in it for a little bit. Who
That
else?
is quite an odd cast group up.
Who else
That's
is it?
quite an
It has Will Sasso in it from Mad TV.
hmm.
John Lovitz, and it has a lot of Saturday Night Live people in here as well. Eli Roth even cameos in this movie. So there is, oh yeah, the whole point of this. There's two different versions of this movie. There's the theatrical version, and then there's the con cut, or how you pronounce that. That's the version that I wish saw first, because I can't go back to the theatrical cut, because the theatrical cut is very hard to follow. But for the
Right.
most part, did it. But once you watch the other version of the movie, it's like, holy crap! Like, it explains everything so much more. Even has like Christopher Lambert in it. Highlander himself, he's in it. So
I think I know where you're going with something because where is it? Let me find it correct. Because when you talk about things like properly done, okay. So I've got this version of this film. Um, Sin City. This is the recut and extended.
yes,
So it's in its proper order, and there's different scenes, and I think that's kind of what we're talking about here. So
I
I
have
wouldn't
that as
mind getting. Yeah, so I can see that version. See, once you watch things like this,
does yours come with a book?
uh,
I can't get mine out because
I think it came second hand. So
okay.
I think originally there would have been a book there.
Yeah. So yeah, it,
Um,
it comes with like a miniature version of the first paper, the first volume of Sin City. It's like A Hard Way to Die or something like that, and it's like it's only like this. It's only like that big, but it's really cool. I can't. I know I have it, but it's behind me, so I can't get it out. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, because they have it. They have a version of it where you can watch it in order, which is pretty cool.
yeah,
It's kind of like if they rearranged Pulp Fiction, and you watch it as it happens instead of like in a non-linear storytelling.
I'm
Um,
surprised that hasn't been done. Actually, I'm very surprised.
uh, Same like, um, um, but they're speaking of like all different versions. I'm half tempted to buy me the Japanese versions of Kill Bill, so I can watch the black
Is
and white.
it? Yes, I think I've heard a lot of people talk about it. They said apparently the Japanese version is in color
Yes.
because that whole scene is quite brutal. And I'm just like, I
Mm-hmm.
really want to see. 'Cause I love my gore, and I do. And I just like when I first watched it, like, why go black and white? And apparently, because it was so graphic,
Right.
that's the reason behind it.
But yeah,
Because like limbs go everywhere. Like,
people here that couldn't handle it, so they like, the MPAA, like, that's too gory. It's like, what if I just call it black and white? Like, okay, like, that works. But then, like, yeah, like the Japanese region locked version of it has it in color, and now I have a region free player. I'm like, now I can start buying some of these cooler movies. It's like,
yeah, that's a good idea to be honest.
and so, um, is there a like, speaking like kind of alternate versions? Is there an alternate version of a movie that you definitely like better than the? I know we're kind of like running specifically a horror movie. Like, we'll keep it spooky. Like for me, I like the black and white version of The Mist. I think that's the superior version of the two. Is watching that movie, it makes it looks like a 1950s horror movie. It's because it's all kind of done that way, and I think that's the way he shot it, anyways. But that's what I liked, because it kind of, yeah,
The
because
myth is that the thing where they're stuck in a sort of mall, or not really
yeah,
mall, a store, and at the end he
yeah, the girl,
again sorry if it spoils this for anyone. He shoots them, and then the army come along.
yes, that's it.
That's the most gutting ending for a movie I thought ever. Because I felt so sorry. I was just like, imagine all that. You do that, and it's like, oh, we're here now. It's just like, if they were there 10 seconds,
That's all I
like
had to
literally just.
just wait. I got to see that in theaters. Okay, I got a better question to ask you. You can still answer the question I just asked. Like, do you have fun horror movie experience when you go to the movies, or a theater experience with a horror movie?
A fun experience.
Yeah, like a crowd was extra rowdy, or like you just saw it with a group of friends that you just couldn't take the movie serious or anything like that.
Um, it's kind of a funny story. I think when Jigsaw came out,
Okay.
when that was new, I was actually on a date, um, and I don't remember much of my first viewing of that movie because I ended up making out with this girl, and it was just that was probably one of the best cinema experiences I've had. But I sort of remember watching the first half, and I thought that it was going to go nowhere today until we watched Jigsaw for some reason, and then we were dating after that. But yeah, that was kind of like a fun movie experience, and that was sad. I'm sad to say I needed to start going to cinema more, but that is I've not seen many horrors at the cinema. But I someone kind of need to start doing. But that was a good experience. Not the making out part. I mean, it was good, but as a horror fan, I would love to go see more experiences like that in cinema. Like, I think I think they're bringing Halloween back near the cinema near mine, the original one. So I may book a ticket. I might because I've never watched that. That'd be such a classic to watch cinema, and some others as well, actually. But I mean, I'd love to watch like I don't know, like a marathon of Friday in the cinema. It's
Oh,
movies like that I would like to watch. Older movies in
I
cinema.
I'm right there with you. I think that would be the funnest experience ever, is to get everyone who likes a certain franchise, and then, or just people who just have fun with watching movies with, and do rent out a theater and do a marathon of like a Friday 13th series, or even like Leprechaun, just movies you can have a lot of fun with friends, because I do have a story for you. So, have you seen Terrifier 2 yet?
Okay, you're gonna hate me about this. I've
Okay.
not seen Terrifier. My uncle's trying to edge me to watch it. I am gonna watch it because I do. I've seen clips and they make me giggle. I've seen a bit where he's playing patter cake in the laundrette where he's practically naked, and
No,
then where he sets that woman on fire. So I have seen clips of it, and it does look good.
don't
It
worry.
does really.
Like, it's no, this is not spoilers or anything. So, I'm sure a lot of stories have come out from the UK where people are like, because that's where they had the premiere and stuff.
They're
Where
handing out stick bags and stuff. Yeah,
so
I've never heard of that over here before until that movie.
um, it's weird. I'm sorry, I'm hearing sounds. I know what's going on. Never mind. Um, we so me and my buddy, we went to go see Terrifier 2, and like me and him, and I'm sure you are as well. I know you are as well. Like that kind, like I wasn't going to go in knowing that I was going to puke or pass out or anything like that. Like whatever was going to be on screen, I knew I would be able to handle, short of like someone actually eating something on screen that was alive. Like they didn't Cannibal Holocaust. Uh, so we got there, and it was in the more smaller theaters of our like whole theater complex, and it's like, so it was in a smaller room, and a bunch of bro dudes have like basically like commandeered the top row. Okay. So as soon as we got in there, and they were like, are you guys ready for this? Like, are you guys gonna like pass out and throw up, blah blah blah? And like me and my buddy look at each other like, oh my god, like these guys are going to wimp out. Like they stayed through I will give them credit, they stayed through the whole movie, but they definitely weren't horror fans, or at least horror aficionados. Like
Mm.
me and my buddy were watching the movie. It's pretty gory. It is really really gory, and we're just like, okay, like this is pretty cool. Love the practical effects. And and it is kind of funny because Art the Clown is like really kind of like having fun with the scenery and everything.
The amount of memes I've seen of that clown
Yeah,
has made me actually want to see it because the one where he does that weird where he's got it and he does that grin at the camera. I was like, okay, I need to watch this because I think on Tubi they have the first two
yeah,
on the Tubi, so I may actually watch them at some point today, and then I'm going to give you my critique. I'm going to talk about that one
yeah.
next time, but I'm going to definitely watch them first too because they're on there, I think. So,
Or if you can, like, if I'm not going, no pressure or anything. If you watch them before Halloween, before what's it, October's up, let me know and we'll hop back on here and
oh
we'll
hell yeah, hell yeah.
um. But yeah, like the bro dudes were having a fit, like, are you guys going to do this and do that? And I'm like, me and him, like, no, we're fine. We're horror, we're horror. What's it called? Veterans, and so it's like we're watching this. So there's a scene in this movie. It's not. This is not. I promise this is not a spoiler. So there's a point in the movie where the main actress is like taking a shower. Whatever. There's no nudity in it. That's the only spoiler for this scene for you. And
Oh,
it's like, so it's like kind of like a side boob kind of shot. Oh my god, those people lost their mind over this, like over a side boob, and just like they were.
that's nothing. Obviously, that's nothing.
I'm Me and my buddy are just like we're like because we're sitting in front of them, so we're just looking at each other like oh my god, like have these, and I think one or two of them are with their girlfriends, so it just kind of like I think that's the only reason why they were in that theater, or like they didn't walk out, is because they were with their girlfriends. And it's like they just had to stay for like to be like I'm not scared, like it's those kind of moment. But yeah, I think that was of the funnest ones I've had recently was when I went and seen Terrifier 2, and it was just like everyone stayed in the theater. I don't think we had anyone walk out or any. No, did we have someone walk out? I think we did. We had someone walk out midway, and then me and my buddies like I don't think because they just shot up and they left, and like maybe they had to use the bathroom all of a sudden, but they never returned. But like, it
never returned.
was just like okay, like, but yeah, that's probably the most recent one that I've had that was a fun experience. I've had other ones with the same friend. We went and seen Resident Evil Afterlife in IMAX 3D,
Okay.
and the dude next to us, like we got good seats, and my friend was to the right of me, and then the dude next to him was had beer on his breath, and you can tell he definitely came to the movies a little on the tipsy side, and he kept offering him nachos. It's like, here, you want some of my nachos? And I'm just like, he's like, no, dude, I'm fine. And just he would do it like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. It was just like, I'm just like, that's funny.
So, not really a cinema experience, but speaking of people like that, so I was in sort of like it was like a town next to it from where I am. There's I think you have this company over there, the Kex or CX. I don't know what you call that end of America, but you might know that store because I did find a store in America with the same logo.
Okay.
Um, but this was in the UK. So there was a guy that kind of reminded me of a certain character from Friday the 13th Part 5, I believe. No, yes, Part 5. I think it's New Beginning, the one where it's Tommy Jarvis, where he's sort of older.
That's the fake.
The one that does like the kung fu on
Yeah,
people, the one that like can pull off like suplexes and stuff.
yeah, the fake Jason.
Um, yes. And do you remember that guy that was offering chocolate bars?
Yes.
And he says, "I'm really good at laundry," and then gets all these dirty hands on it,
Yeah.
and he goes to the guy Vic and offers him. This guy was in the store, right? And I'll tell you what, he had an uncanny was that he had the hair and everything. He reminded me, he will come up to me, pick up a whole movie, and go, "What do you think of this one?" And I did it for the first two movies, and then when he got to the third, I was just like, "Dude." I just like I can see why Vic killed this guy now. I can totally relate. I wanted to kill him in a way if I didn't have the fear of going to prison for the rest of my life. This guy every 10 seconds have I seen this movie? I'm like, I was, And I was talking to my uncle. I was just like, why does he remind me of that guy from Friday the 13th Part 5?
That's
I was
funny.
just like, he was, and that's what you made me think about that guy. I had not thought about him in like 8 years. And the fact is like, keep offering, you want something else? I'm like, no, 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 I'm fine. And he even came to the counter when I was paying for movies.
Oh,
When I was like paying up, I was just like, oh, like,
do you remember
and
the
I was
movie
just like,
that he was talking about?
the movies asked me about.
Yeah.
I think they were cheap movies, so they
Hmm.
couldn't have been good. I didn't really recognize the names except from probably Saw. I think one of them was Saw. And then I think he showed me Jaws. Have I watched Jaws? And I was like, yes.
Okay.
Um, and he asked me what's it about, and I was just like, did you read the back of the box?
Like I, it's yeah, it's kind of like in Clerks. It's like do you have any what's the price on these? And it's the sign literally above them. It's like it's kind of like it's just turn the box over. And like obviously the front of the box should give you a giveaway. It's like it's about a shark. It's like and it's Jaws. Like it's kind of common knowledge at this point.
And I think one of the worst sort of customer service experience. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Yes.
Yeah. You probably had it longer over where you guys are, but when it was still about, I miss Blockbuster. But I remember walking up to my server and I asked about a movie. Now, if you work in a place like that, I think it's a given you should interact and talk about movies so that you want to you want to make me, entice me to buy something. Like I'm purchasing an item, entice me, like, excuse me, entice me, motherfucker. And it's like entice me, and then they're just like, oh, I don't know. It's just like I was just like, well, like, could you tell me something about it? Like, I haven't seen it. It looks good. Like, can you tell me something? They're just like, I don't know. And I felt it was always boring as server. I was just like, I end up putting it back because I feel like if you're in that line position, like you work in selling movies. This is a popular sort of store. Like people come here. I expect sort of some feedback. Like
Mhm.
I feel like if you work in a place like that, you've got to be sort of some like movie buff. Like I don't understand why they would hire someone to just like that's not how you're gonna sell your stuff. Like I don't know, it felt really bland and just it's just like see you later. I'll put it like
Yeah.
that is the worst sort of store experience I've had. It's
Yeah.
not bothered by their job.
Story. He said he has a friend that used to call them ball busters because they loved when people would get fines, which meant more money for them. Yeah, like not rewinding the tapes or bringing it like late videotape, late returns and everything. Like that's where they made their
Is that
money.
where the saying comes from? Be kind and rewind. Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Oh,
Like
oh shit! Oh shit!
yeah, you
And
have
now
to
I know.
rewind the movie. Like most places, it's like an extra dollar. Like at least on the places I've been to, if you didn't rewind the tape, it was like another dollar on top of like whatever fees you had, whatever. But yeah, like um, I always had an automatic. At least my grandparents they had like a separate device. All you had to do is just put it in and it rewound it automatically. So like that was never a problem. Like having to like
You just have to.
sit there and wait for the movie to rewind. You just gotta take it out, put it in there, and you can start the next one while that's rewinding. So, um, but yeah, I'm trying. So yeah, like I totally agree with you on there. Like the person running the counter should have at least some general knowledge about the movies that they have, at least in their place. It's like okay, like requirement, like go home and watch this. Like I'm not saying like every person needs to do that, but because like say you can work at 16, like you don't watch like Showgirls and come back and tell and I you know
Yeah,
but it's like watch something that's PG-13. It's like hey, like how's this Transformer movie or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
and I it like it's like well it's not bad, like it's fun action. Like maybe that, but like I'm not like you said, like they just be nice to have someone behind the counter that had some general knowledge. Like you said, they lost a movie
A
right
bit
now.
of enthusiasm, a bit of enthusiasm,
Right.
you know.
Oh, here.
So,
Um, yes, like I always love seeing them on like I'm part of a VHS group on Facebook, and I love
okay.
seeing stickers like that. I think I have I or like
I did tag you in. I think I tagged you that someone had some stairs and they were the Halloween movies, but they were like the VHS sort of spine covers.
I
Hopefully you saw that one, but so and someone posted a picture of all these old horror tapes on video, and I actually, to me, obviously, videos were around, but and then I was obviously in the more DVD era, but as a horror fan, it's actually really cool seeing horror tapes. And if I'm
mm,
honest, I would actually love to have a few, even though I can't actually watch them. They'd just be like a nice thing to look at and
yeah,
really cool.
that I want to like get a few select ones on VHS for display. Like they did that. So VHS is kind of has a nice resurgence here lately, at least in my like that I've noticed. It could have been going like obviously it's been going on forever collecting tapes and stuff, but like as of
Yeah.
like as old as old will become new again kind of thing, and they did Terrifier 2 on VHS. It's like a double red VHS tapes here.
Oh
I don't
wow.
did it there. It's in I don't. Do you have Walmart here there? I can't. I don't know if you do or not.
Um, Walmart is sort of like Asda in the UK. Like I think there's sort of like a shared company. We have a thing over here called Asda.
Okay.
Because I think you have a clothing brand in your Walmart called George, and they have a clothing brand called George as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so they are, but I think their headquarters is like America, and I think they do own. They both own, so it's like the same sort of, I guess, sub companies that are joined to that, and so yeah. But I love Walmart though. Don't get hit, but I do love Walmart.
But yeah, they had like a little like horror section back in September or whatever, and then like that was the big selling point for that section was they're like, oh my god, they're selling VHSs in Walmart again. So, um, Kill Her Goat, which is a really bad movie on DVD. I've never heard of that. Echo.
I think why would I even do a special release of some of their movies on VHS?
Yeah,
Why would
well,
I?
that's like a company that releases movies.
Is that like a horror company? Because I know about Scream Factory obviously, and I think
I,
Arrow are quite good for doing sort of horror stuff like that. Or
I think that's what it is. I think Echo will tell us in a second. I think they
yeah,
um. So is okay. It's been a while since I like asked you. Do you have like a movie lately um that really like didn't like? I know we talked about like movies that we didn't like good change and stuff, but is there a movie lately that really was like you didn't like from top to bottom? Like really, just like I wasted my time watching this.
mm.
Because I haven't. That's I can't. I've watched a lot of good movies lately. Like movies that I took a chance on that from recommendations from fellow friends and stuff. I'm like, oh, that actually was really good. Like I never really would have watched Barbarian, but I really liked Barbarian. Um,
Mm.
and I think Malignant. I like that one as well. I thought that had a really crazy ending. um, but I haven't really had a I know I'm not answering the question, but I was just curious, like because like horror movies have actually been pretty decent as of late. We expect, but I didn't know if like you've seen
See
one.
what my uncle said. He said what he said about Terrifier. He said because he's very picky when it comes to horror. He likes a lot
Okay,
of older horror. He doesn't really like many new horrors, but he said he liked Terrifier because it was like old-fashioned horror, but done in a modern way, but right in the correct way.
yeah, I he
And for him to say that is a lot because he won't say much good about because he goes, "Oh, Saw movies okay." He says that to him they're tame,
okay,
like they're not that gory to him. But
yeah,
then when he saw Terrifier, he thought it was brilliant. Releasing company.
yeah. That's the Wild Owl Company. I know.
Yeah, I know what he means by that. I found some. you know, when you do find some random gems sometimes that are foreign, and that nobody would have heard of, and they end up being really good. And if their company are doing that, I might have to check into that. Honestly,
Yeah, I have quite a few from like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin. If those are excellent companies, like they have some like great releases. Like I don't know if you've ever seen me and Echo talk about we've talked about this quite a bit. Ticks. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I heard of it. That kind of is that kind of like a sort of. It looks like kind of like a 1950s sort of look. Am I right? Or
No,
kind of like played.
it's like from the '90s, I do believe, and it has like
Oh wow! Okay.
and who else is it? Seth Green and what's his name?
Jeff Green. Oh,
I can't think of his
is this
actual.
one of his early things? Is this one of the early sort of stuff he done?
Yes, that's
I
it's
think Mark would tell me about this, but I've actually forgotten the name until you showed it. That might be the thing he was on about to tell me to watch.
yeah. Let's see if here's that, and then here's the. I think they have an alternate cover. I think it might be just that. Yeah, it's just that one I just showed you. But yeah, it's about a bunch of like teens who are like troubled, and then they go out into the woods, and then they end up like battling these like mutant ticks and whatever. And yes, that's who I was trying to think of. The cousin from Fresh Prince is in this movie, Carlton.
Oh, no way! I love Carlton. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So yeah, like, so Severin. I'm trying to think of. Um, did you ever watch Prophecy with Christopher Walken?
I think I've heard of it,
So
but
about
not seen it. I do
about
like Christopher Walken, though. He's a good actor. I do like
it's
him.
about angels and demons fighting each other. But like, what really cool about Severin and even um, Vinegar Syndrome, they always have really cool box sets. So
Oh.
I'm trying to think, yeah, Arrow, of course. I'm trying to find one from Vinegar Syndrome or Severin. I can't think of where. Oh, so I have another friend. His name is the 13th Wolfman, and he got me into these older Italian horror movies, and so they have like these kind of covers on there, and they're actually really
Yeah,
good. They're like they're
cool.
erotic thrillers essentially, but
Is
they're
that I think there's one. I think it's Italian. Is Suspiria? Is that the
yeah
right one I'm thinking of?
yeah
He showed me that. He has like a really cool box set from that. I think I might even have it, but not like an edition he has. But I'm pretty sure he gave me Suspiria. I think that's is that an Argento movie?
yeah
Yes, because his daughter was in. I think is it Land of the Dead?
yep.
I think yeah. So his daughter was in that, and I remember her because I really liked her. Um, okay, so yeah, so I have seen Italian horror before, and they're quite. I mean, because I remember watching this bit, and that was quite. I wouldn't mind watching that again actually, because it has been a long time since I've seen it, so I wish I could remember a bit more. But Jill Hergert's also called Horror Movie with Kane Hod. Oh, okay. Made by a guy who likes boobs, even if they're fake and belong to her. He couldn't even act if he lives.
That's funny. That's
Oh
I
dear.
think you might have sold me on watching this just because I'm kind of curious now. Like I like bad acting in movies. Um, I'm trying to
The
get back,
movie's that bad, you could probably find it on YouTube. But I feel like some of these really bad movies are so easy to find.
especially on
Because
Tubi. I think we like do you have Tubi? Um,
yeah, but my uncle's got like an IP changer thing, so he's got like the American version as well, and they have a lot more than the British one. I tell you that you guys have a lot more.
they I think we have a few people on here. I think um Professor we have a fellow friend, me and Echo. We have he what's it called? Professor Macabro. He does Tubi. He talks about Tubi movies, the really bad ones, and I think Hobbs and Bones, they're two different people. I think they occasionally talk about some movies on there as well. Echo does too. But yeah, it's a big. Tubi is fun here in the States, as you can see. It's like it's also great for trying to find knockoff superhero movies. I've kind of fell down a rabbit hole on YouTube one day, and they were talking about how like here is the Tubi's version of Batman. I'm just like, holy crap, this is cool.
Oh no, not. Oh,
So, trying to, yeah, like I definitely recommend watching the Terrifier movies, Tick.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so yeah, those are if there's any movies I would I can't wait to hear you have to talk about. Those are the three for sure.
I'll tell you what. So it's gonna be, what is it? Killer Goats? Was it called? Was it Killer Goats?
Kill Her Goats. Like that's kind of a weird
Kill Her
title.
Goats.
I'm
So
hoping.
I think Terrified 2, and Kill Her Goats. And what I'm going to also do is look through Tubi and find a random horror movie that sounds really stupid in its name, and I will talk about it.
Okay.
I'm going to find something that looks ridiculous. It's been a while since I've seen some ridiculous horror movies. I think it's about that time to do it again.
So me and the 13th Wolfman, we that's who I do the film fiends podcast with. We usually try to task one another to kind of like go seek out a movie. So like I think that's what I'm going to do too. It's like if you seek out a terrible movie and I'll seek out a terrible movie and we'll come back with and we'll talk about it. Like we'll do a terrible movie reveal or whatever. So oh man,
Sorry, the cat was stuck a claws in my knee.
oh you're good.
So it's kind of like, I don't. You probably definitely remember it as the like Elvira's Mysterious Macabre. Where she would make fun of like really poorly made horror movies. It kind of be like that, but obviously not with a nice looking bird on the couch. But I guess it'd be kind of like that. So, but yeah, but we'll definitely. That actually sounds like a really fun idea now. I have seen some bad horror movies, and
Oh,
not bad good, as in just like I'm looking at it, it's just like I was just like, yeah, they definitely never got a sequel, and it's just I definitely think some of these bad horror movies out there. I
Echo.
felt like
I'm about to like hurt you now. You may have your first lawsuit on your hands. So I don't know if you heard about this movie. It's quite notorious within our little group of friends and everything. It's Terror at Bloodfart Lake.
the what now?
Um,
That actually sounds worse than Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or American Tomatoes. It actually sounds worse than that, and I think surely that's not worse than that. I don't know.
yeah, I think like Clay Zombies is one of another notorious one. Like I mentioned Amazing Bulk already. So yeah, oh man, I'm gonna have fun with this. I think I'm just gonna go to the horror section on Tubi and just like type in the letter, like I'll pick a random letter and that's the first movie.
Terrible Tubi horror pics, right? Terrible Tubi.
Oh man.
I think what's one that the one that looked pretty bad to me. I think it was obviously a parody of Friday the 13th. It's called Saturday the 14th.
Yeah.
But it's quite PG, but it was really terrible from what I saw. There was a bit. I think it was like a Creature of the Black Lake looking thing, and it was just. And it was asking where Brooke was in the house, and the actor was shockingly bad, and I could tell there's such a play on like a lot of movies, and I was just, it was only a PG, but that was a terrible movie. It was like a PG sort of horror because like Woman in the Black is not really like a scary horror. It's just like quite a It's like because until I saw Woman in Black, I didn't think there would be like family sort of horrors that are quite low tame horror, but family. But Woman in Black is serious, but like a very tame sort of family horror. But I felt like that's what Saturday the 14th was, and I kind of looked at him and was like, what is this? It's just like, it's so bad. And I thought Friday the 13th movies were bad at best, but that's really bad.
Uh,
Um,
Spookies is another good one. Like, uh,
Spookies. I think I
yeah.
heard that, yeah.
Have you watched? I got one more question before we have to go. It's not a very good question, but have you watched Zombievers yet?
Zombievers.
Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's
No.
zombie beef.
I think what's the one? I think one that you sent me. It had Robert England in it. I think it was like strippers and zombies. I'm not sure that's the right title.
Yeah, zombies versus
That was
strippers.
a bad movie, but that was really good. Like Robert England has a knack for turning up, and he's really funny. Bad, but really funny. Bad but funny, good sort of horror movies, and I think he's in that. And
Yeah,
that was really good. No, that was ridiculous, but enjoyable.
yeah. I was trying to like pad out what I sent you, because I was like, if I'm gonna send my first package to the UK, I'm gonna make it count. And like, I sent you all the Friday the 13th and zombie strippers and the shirt. I think did I send you one more movie? I think
So
that's it.
this is. Also, funny enough, but sadly, I did. I still have that photo box set, but the only thing is, I did get a Blu-ray, but because of financial stuff at the time, I got rid of my Blu-ray box set.
Yeah, I
But I
remember.
do plan on, but I do plan to get it. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, oh, I slide down here for a sec.
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
pretty sure.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm so glad it made. Yeah, I was like when I was sending it to you, I was like, oh my god, I hope I'm doing everything correctly. It's not like just sending a pet package down the street, here, but it's like it's literally crossing the ocean. I was like, oh
The other thing was a Harlequin little figurine. That was the other thing.
yeah, yeah. Echo knows what Zombievers is. It's terrible, but if a good movie to watch with friends, that's exactly what it is. And so, but yeah,
I think
go
one
ahead.
another thing I'm going to add. I don't mind these movies, but I can. My friend who was here wasn't really, but he made like a not bought store copy of a film, Long Turn 3. And he watched it. He said, "What the hell was I watching?" He goes, "That is the most randomest movie I've seen." He thought it was the stupidest thing. I was like, Wrong Turns are brilliant. With the laughing, weird, sort of hillbilly cannibal sort of people in the woods,
Movie was
like
it?
The Wrong Turn franchise. I like them, and
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Doug Bradley's in the fifth one.
oh,
I'm
is
pretty
he?
sure he's in there.
I
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in there. Have you
have
not seen them?
I've only seen the first three.
The fir- I think the first one was the only sort of big one because that's the only one I'm pretty sure that actually ends up in the cinema.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the rest of the strip because that's the only one as well that has like people that you know, excluding Doug Bradley from five, but because it has like Elijah Dushku in it, and a few others. I can't remember who they are, but I remember her in it because she's from Buffy.
I think the dude from Dexter's in it too. Quinn, right?
Yes, yeah, but yeah, a bit younger there, though, I believe. But I like. They're not bad movies, but they're not brilliant. They're very but they're not bad, but they're not good at the same time. They're not really too stacked. But because my friend's not really a big horror fan, but he watched it. He was just like, excuse me, he was just like, what the fuck? It's like, what even is the hell is this? Because I said, well, I said, I guess you don't get it because you're not really a horror fan, but I said they're not actually too bad movies. It's like he doesn't understand why I asked for that, but
All right,
I like the Wrong Turn. They're silly, but
all right. Now, all right. I had to think of a better question to ask you. What's your thoughts on
I think my uncle showed me that.
all all of them? Like, hold on.
All of them? What do you mean all of them? I don't, okay,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
one,
have the
two. Oh, yeah.
I don't have eight
That's
because it was made before that one came out, but it has the evil bong versus the ginger dead man. If you want to watch something that's like what Echo says, like will kill brain cells, that's one of them, and it's hilarious. But it's hilariously bad.
Is it, okay, not really psycho, but there's a film I'm going to watch. 'Cause I think they have the first 4 or 5 on Tubi, and you
Yeah.
might be shocked at this one. I've never watched Children of the Corn,
Oh, you ever?
so I think I'm going to go watch the first one as well. That's
I've
going to be my agenda because
I've never seen
I've
either. I've watched the first one, but I've never seen the 12 sequels that followed, or where however many there are.
12.
There's a lot to this movie. There is a lot of sequels to movies.
But it's like with the is it Puppet Master movies? There's quite a few of them as well.
Oh, I'll zoom over here real quick. Here, let me take this off.
Is that Chef?
Yeah. So I have all the Puppet Master movies. It's in the
Probably.
trunk. Yeah.
How many are there
As of right now, there. Hold on. There's
right now? The more coming?
yes, there is more coming. There's
Oh wow!
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 in this box set, and there's 12. There's a 13. I think there's maybe 14, plus the remake 15. I think.
There's actually more. So they outdo Friday, Halloween, and Hellraiser with amount of films.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Wow. Okay, that's crazy.
yeah. I haven't watched them all, but the first one's really good. I really will admit the first Puppet Master movie is really good. It really is. And no, Echo, I don't own any of the Killjoy movies. Um, Killjoy is about a killer clown. That's a supernatural killer clown. That
I was told to watch. What was it? Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm guessing that's like a really bad movie as well. Because they made a game of that now as well. I said I don't know because I don't know. It's films like that. I look at them sometimes. I'm just like, I feel like
well,
it's one of those movies where they go, look, it's $500. Here's some cocaine. Make shit happen. I feel like how these movies get made is they must be on drugs. When I watch some of them, it's just there's no way a good director would come up with a bad plot line like this. Clive Barker would not come up with a bad movie. Stuff like that, you know. John Carpenter would not make a bad movie, you know. Do you
Echo
have
put his name back on the screen. Echo,
ah,
they did a live stream of him playing the Puppet Master game, right? Right, Echo. I think. I've yet to, from what I've seen of the Killer Clown game, it actually looks pretty fun. It looks funner than the Chainsaw game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, at least. But yeah,
yeah, I have problems with that game. I'll come back to that one. I have my pros and cons about that game. Trust me.
uh, so yeah, I think what was it? Yeah, Echo played. Yeah, he tried. Yeah, it wouldn't. I've seen footage of that game. It legit looks terrible. Like what you were saying, like they were just on drugs, and then they just like, you know what, let's make a game, and it didn't. It just fell. It fell flat. Like it didn't even attempt anything good about it. So, is there? I have to get ready to go because I got some other stuff I got to do tonight. Um, is there anything you want to talk about lastly here? I'll for the last 5 minutes or so.
Um, there's something in this sort of game where I wouldn't mind talking about. So, I don't know if your friends have heard of here as well. So, Dead by Daylight. And recently, I heard a bit of good news, and there's something I'm hoping now. So obviously, the whole Friday Fame game sort of thing with the lawsuits and everything.
Yeah.
So I've heard that's been settled now,
Yes.
and because of that, there's a chance they could actually add Jason to Dead by Daylight. And I actually still play the Friday the 13th game now, and I enjoy that. It's much better than Texas Chainsaw.
I
Because
think I watched you stream it a few times, or when you played Dead by Daylight, right? I think you streamed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, more of a thing for my phone because I don't have bad internet, but it's not great for streaming. But if I get a better internet, I'd love to start pop up streaming again.
I got
But
you.
like, yeah, it's just but I don't. So when it comes to horror games, I do like Five Five game, but it's so bad it's good. But it's like the movies. It's um the bugs in it are ridiculous, but it can be very toxic because the amount of times a survivor, like another camp counselor, has ran me over deliberately. There's just so much of that.
Yeah.
And there's a character in it called Le Chapper, and he's the guy who made the game, and he's the one that got in trouble with lawsuits because. And the actor who played Tommy Jarvis, the good Tommy Jarvis, Part 6 one, who's in like the Return of the Dead stuff like that. That actor, I really like him. I
I,
think they went to court about that because the license again, the guy didn't get proper permission,
um.
um, and that's why that went through like that.
Let's see if his name was on. I was just seeing if his name was on the back of the box here. The actor that you were talking about, Thom Matthews. There we go.
Yes, but
Sorry.
he's been in quite a few good highs, but because they didn't ask his permission, I think that's how the whole thing started, and it's a shame because. When you look into files on that game PC, they had so much content planned. There was going to be like
Oh,
Jasons you could have that were not in movies because there's a really cool Jason variant called the Savini Jason
yes, I've
and
seen it.
designed by, and you can't buy that because it was a pre-order only.
Oh,
And I was just like, because they get shut down, I was like, can't you give it to people? That Jason is the most hardest to like stun and stuff like that because like when he's in rage, he just bursts through doors really quickly, and you shit yourself. You dive out of windows, like you run. You don't stand there. And he can take the most stuns out of all the Jason. He's basically, I guess, a pre-order to win Jason because the amount of time I've never survived going against that Jason type.
he's
But it's really cool. The music is really eerie. It's like very like really harmonizing orchestral stuff. It's really demonic sound, and when you hear it, you're out the window. You're gone.
I played maybe a couple times, and I didn't really do very well just because like I didn't get the hang of it really quickly. But I did enjoy. I do like watching people play, and I especially when you get a group of people playing together who know each other. That's what makes it fun. But um, I think the lawsuit is also from ownership of the Jason character because um, I think that's the problem because he doesn't really officially show up until two, and
Yeah, it is what I told. Isn't it like so? Someone owns the story. Someone owns adult Jason.
right,
I think that's what that is. And then because Sean S. Cunningham, he's the one that owns the story, right? But then someone else owns the adult Jason.
yeah, like
If I,
someone like yeah, like the story of yes, I think that's basically how it breaks down. I think.
it sounds very complex. I can see why this. It's such a complex lawsuit thing that's sort of gone on, and it's,
Well, I think also like it breaks down like someone owns Friday the 13th name. That's why we got
yeah.
the later movies that aren't Friday the 13th labeled. Like we got what Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy versus Jason, and Jason X. Those are the ones that couldn't legally use the Friday the 13th moniker. So that's why they were
Okay.
called. That's why they were just called because the people who are making those movies had the legal rights to the name Jason and the character Jason, and that's why they could. That's why they were able to like make those movies. I think that's I'm pretty sure I'm probably leaving key points out, but I think that's the gist of it all is on that aspect is how the legality of it all boils down.
Because
Um,
even though it was bad, like it's a shame because I think on PC they've mod it where they've had the is it the Grendel, the ship in Jason X? Is it the Grendel? Is that the right name I'm saying?
Uh,
But
oh, so
yes, that is the right date. It was sold right first. Now owns nothing behind that, and even he only owns the rights in the US. Oh, okay.
so
Um, so they had a mod where it was a ship from Jason X, and they had the Uber Jason. And
okay.
it's a shame because it would have been a cool map in that game, but obviously because of everything that happened, they didn't have it. But if you play on PC, there's mods, and they even got the Android Kit, I think her name was Kit. So she's even a survivor that you can play as, but it's on PC version, so it's on private lobbies and stuff, obviously. But it's a
Gotcha.
shame. It's a shame because the content would sounds really fun.
I think if they could do a resurgence, I think Friday the 13th one would probably be the best of the bunch. Like when it comes to like that kind of type of gameplay, when like
Well, they're supposed to be remaking the Final Fantasy game, but
okay,
as long as they ask and do proper, when you're doing something like that, you've got to make sure you get all this permission and stuff sorted first. Because you can't. I hope they will, because it'd be the same company, I think, but it's as long as they ask permission and as long as they do it right, I'll be happy. I will be happy.
okay. Well, Michael, we have like reached our time for the night. So what we're gonna like for next time, hopefully, it won't be years between videos. Hopefully, before the end of the month, we will have watched at least one bad movie on Tubi.
Yeah.
Terrifier 1 and 2. I may even rewatch them myself, just
Yeah.
to kind of myself, so I'm not like forgetting anything. And was there another? Oh, and Ticks, if you ever can find it. So we will have some homework for our next episode. Oh, yes, and Blood Fart Lake.
Okay.
That's optional, but if we can fit it
Oh,
in.
I'll do it since I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
I will give it. What's the worst that could happen? Eh?
How long? How long is that movie, Echo? How long? I want to know how much time I'm going to have to like sacrifice to give up for this movie. If it's like an hour and a half, it has to be at least 70 minutes long. Like I think you have to be at least like 80 minutes to be considered a feature film or something like that.
I
Uh,
think one of the worst, as I'm going to say, I think one of the worst really short films here was Deep Star 6. That was a really bad. That was quite a short horror movie. I
yeah,
don't remember that being long at all, but that was
you know it.
really bad. And the last time I watched that, it was on video. It was actually on video, and that was like a '90s one, I believe. It was very late '90s, and that I remember watching that. That's so bad. I don't know.
Oh,
And then I thought, oh,
don't.
is that it?
Yeah. So,
Is that
okay.
the movie?
I think Deep Star 6 is that the precursor
Was
to
it like a?
like that's what Alien spawned from. I think that's the one I'm thinking of, or I'm thinking of a different one. But yeah, there's one that's called Deep something Star that I'm totally probably. It doesn't have like a giant beach ball as the villain, whatever.
Oh no, no! I know what you're thinking. My uncle showed me that movie where there's a ball like squeaking about and it started attacking people. That's a different film, but I know.
Okay,
Yeah, he showed me the clip, and I thought that was ridiculous. Honestly, like, I know what you mean. The beach was on like a spaceship, and it.
yeah, I think that's the one
Yeah,
that. Uh,
I'll
but
ask my uncle what the name of that is. I will ask him, and I will bring you that information because he showed me that. He literally showed me that a couple of weeks back. Funny
wow,
that you actually mentioned that.
thank you, Echo. Echo got it for us.
Dark, that's it. Dark Star, yes,
Okay,
because it was squeaking about, and then yeah, it was. I thought it was ridiculous.
and what was it? What was yeah? Because
Okay,
uh,
that explains
Aliens
it.
a year or 2 year. Like I think it's 76 was Aliens, so or Alien. So that's
Yeah,
where O'Bannon wrote Dark Star, and he just kind okay. So yours was what Deep Dark. Sorry, what was the
Deep
movie?
Star Six.
Okay,
Deep Star Six. Yeah,
okay
it's
so
like it's to do like underwater, and then I remember that.
yes,
Oh God,
that's
it's so bad.
yeah. It was written.
Directed by- Oh, Dan O'Bannon. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay, so I will have to look into the movie. I'll look into the movie that you were talking about, Deep Star Six.
Yeah,
Right? Deep
yeah,
Star. Okay, I think I can picture the cover now. If I'll message you off camera once I look at the poster. I'm like, yep, that's it.
yeah.
Um, so is okay. We'll end it here. With this final question. I know I said this 3 times already. Is there what are you looking forward to doing most this month of October, the final weeks? Like, is there like, I think I've already, there's a similar question I've asked earlier in the stream. Like, what's going to be your final movie of the year of the month if you have one?
I think I'm going to try and buy it before for the last for the month, and I think it's got to be that because once I finish going through it, I think I'm going to have to get because I only have 2018 version of it and Halloween Kills. I want to get Halloween Ends and watch Halloween Ends on the final day of October. So I
Okay,
think it'll be a nice send off to the month. So I'm going to do that, and I'm quite excited to try out a few other these like sort of mainstream horror movies that I haven't watched, like Children of the Corn. I'm excited to watch things like that I've never watched before because I've never watched them. So
I
they're definitely on my agenda. And Terrified, I'm excited to watch that. And it's just it'd be nice. It's nice to actually have some more new things to watch for horror because it's been
that's
a while since I've recently gone back to my horrors and I've been enjoying them again. If I'm honest, that's like my genre I always fall back to. That's like my main sort of love for movies, the horror side of things.
I took a little break from the horror genre. I think for a little while, but I'm like, since I didn't do the 31 days this year, like how I usually do.
Yeah, I remember them.
Um, I I took a break this year, and I'm enjoying it because I've been watching X Files. Um,
Awesome.
I watched what was some of the other movies I watched? I think I did a whole stream on it. I totally forgot, but it was just some fun movies that I hadn't watched in a long time. And then for that I answered the question for that last week of October. I think I'm gonna. There's a few recommendations I got from friends that I've been holding on to for a while. So I'm like Murder Party, a classic American horror story. I think I want to watch Alien Romulus before the month is up. Uh,
Um, all right, not too bad actually. I actually enjoyed that.
I
I'll
heard.
let you watch that first, and we'll talk about that. But it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too
Uh,
bad.
what else? I'm like I mentioned
Better than
Maxine.
Covenant. Better than Covenant. That's all I'm saying.
Like
Better than Covenant.
we'll we'll have to we'll go through the Alien movies again. I think maybe in the next stream as well.
Hmm.
We'll do a nice supersized one as well. Like hopefully me and Wolfman will do one during the day, and then me and you can block out the night in the night with a stream.
Hmm.
So
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
so that is it. It's been a while since we've done this.
Honestly, it's been really enjoyable. It's just
I,
because
I
like I said, I know not to go into much here because I know you've had stuff going on, and personally, I've had stuff going on in my life. But to do this is actually I don't know. It's made me really excited to be doing some like this again. Honestly, and it's something that I've need. I think the stuff that I've had going on, and
understand that.
I don't know. It's great. It's a great thing to do, honestly, and it's like I don't know. I've perked up so much doing this again. It's just like I have missed doing these, and it'd be nice to make it a regular thing. If I'm honest, so
Oh, same. Like I mean the 13th Wolfman. Like I try so hard to get with him, and it's like at the last minute something comes up, or like I'm not feeling it that day, and I don't want to like not do a good stream. So I know I just don't want to do it today. I'm sorry, but like I'm but I'm like sometimes I just should just jump into it and like because I always enjoy doing these like with Wolfman and you're like one of the first people that I actually started like doing streams with other than like friends like uh
I do think because I remember because when they first done these, I do I hear back in my voice now. I sound so scared. But I think this is one where I've been like really confident talking. Like I don't know, I think I've become more camera okay, if
yeah
that makes sense.
I get that I was
I
exactly
guess because I'm 31 now, I think I've just kind of grown to a more comfortable stage I'm like old. I'm like I don't care what people think. Like it's just I feel old now, but I think
I
because
watched my first 31-day video like a
yeah,
couple days ago. I'm just to kind of like see where I started from, and I'm just like, holy crap! Like I was legit. Like I think I like just you. I was like I was nervous in a way, even though I was making short films and stuff at that time, so I could do multiple takes. But like
yeah,
but this was like a little different. Like this was like more like me talking as myself, and that's what I really. And then like I got better. I know I still stumble over my words to still to this day, but it's just like holy crap. I have that too. Like repeat myself, but it's just I enjoy doing these streams a lot, and I'm like even though I may never get to like 100 views on a stream or whatever, but I'm like the thing is I'm gonna look back on these and be like I had fun. Like these aren't like I'll be like, oh, this is what I thought of this movie, or this.
it's making moments when you look at it, and that's the way it's. And I think and to be honest, to be involved in this has been nice because horror is like that's a big thing for me. It's like the funny thing I was never told, but when my uncle drove into horror, like to be doing something like this is really fun. It's just and it'd be great to connect with like like more horror fans. It's just it's it's like a big it's like gaming's like my other big passion, and that's why when I got a horror game, that's even like that's a great combination. It's just really nice, honestly. It's just it's a great to do these kind of things to like talk about it. Like even when you said even if it's just like 100 views, just like it's still fun that people watch these, and because even I started to do my own sort of horror movie review things.
Mm,
I stopped, and oh god, I even sound nervous in them, and I would start to talk about my reviews on horror, and you actually gave like the sort of inspiration for that because I stopped, and it's on like an old YouTube profile, but I might even actually start doing them up again myself. Like I might, because I kind of realized how much I actually had fun doing that, and then doing my own little thing with them. It's just like I should probably do it with like how more confident I am now. I'd love to actually just redo that again, just start from scratch. I
uh,
think I'd have a lot of fun
right.
doing how I am now.
Um, full disclosure, like at the beginning of October, I got overwhelmed. I really did. I got overwhelmed with doing videos and there's basically the thought of doing videos because I was preparing for something big because it was going to be my 13th year doing the 31 Days of Fright and everything. And I just got overwhelmed by it because I was the way I had put so much pressure on myself to like, I have to make these each and every video like professional, top notch, well edited, well spoken, all that stuff. And I'm just like, I had like basically like ruined myself doing this. And then I stopped, and then I was like talking to the 13th Wolfman. Whenever I can get a chance to talk to you, like we're basically playing phone tag some days, and like I do talk to Echo quite a bit about wrestling and stuff. So, and then I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to like just get on here and just talk about movies for a little while, and then it kind of got me back into like feeling better about doing videos again because
Yeah.
I don't want to do I took the pressure off myself. I finally relieved everything off that, and so I'm like that's why I'm trying to get like the 13th Wolfman to do a video again. I feel so bad. I feel like a terrible friend on that one because I constantly like flake out on that part.
I,
Like
I, the thing is, I'm sure they don't feel that way because a friend will understand stuff you go through, and I'm sure they have like
and
a true friend will always make sure you're okay, and I
we
won't bother them.
we talk off camera, or we talk text, we mess each other offhand. Like we're constantly like in talks with one another, so it's not like I'm just not answering him for days or whatever kind of aspect. It's just like okay, we got it under control. It's just trying to find the right time now, and hopefully next Sunday. No guarantees is that I want to do a video with him because
Yeah,
like I told you at the beginning of the stream, like I'm trying to get everyone who I talk to normally on my channel for this month. And I'm like, that's a good. I'm
Yeah.
like, good goal. Like, you don't have to do video. It's just like because everyone has unique experiences. That's kind of why I was talking about movie theater experiences, like what's your least favorite movie, or like alternate versions of movies and stuff like that. I was just trying to get a little bit of everyone's taste and like, and so, and then
Yeah.
what I don't know if you've watched any of them, but like me in the Wolfman, at the end of the video, at the like after we kind of talk um, about a certain subject of a movie, I write down like 6 questions, and it's basically like would you rather kind of thing. Like, would you rather have Freddy's glove or Michael's machete? You know, or Jason's machete, that kind of thing. Like, ooh, like okay, but it's not always linked to horror, so it can be
Mm.
other questions like who has the better filmography, Quentin Tarantino or Scorsese? You know, like questions like that. So I'm hoping to have a more horror themed questionnaire for him next time we before this month is over.
Mm.
I'm thinking of I'm getting my my creative flow back again. So that's kind of like, and like of course like Echo joins me on streams as well on these like really random pop up streams. Like we and you had this one planned. I'm just not very good at
Yeah.
like letting you know that I'm doing them. Like behind the scenes, it's all welled out and well oiled and everything, but if you like, oh, he's on, like, so it's just so I didn't mean to hog that much of their time. um, so yes, so we definitely have a lot of stuff to talk about for the next episode. I'm hoping to get one more episode with us before the spooky season ends.
Mm.
So if you have anything you want to talk about next time, full feel
Yeah,
free.
I'm definitely gonna talk about Terrified. That's
Good.
definitely on my agenda. I'm gonna watch Bloodfart Lake, Tit. I'm gonna find a bad, terrible movie. And for the thing is talking about, sort of like, what would you rather have, this and that?
Oh yeah.
I have a really good one. Um, so I'm gonna do a thing where you can have like, this is what I'm gonna do. So how about we do a thing where it's just like you talk about this next time, like who you would in a sort of situation, like if a horror movie situation, if you was in a horror movie, who would you have with you? And you have to sort of pick like a killer that would who would be the person you would take with you as like to be your sort of team player, I guess, like, or your sort of a survival partner, like which sort of character would you be? And then it's just like you do some like who do you feel like who would be like the worst final girl to be with and stuff
Oh,
like that. So, but also like
oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Who would be the first worst final girl? That's a good one. I like that. Um,
Tina Halloween 5.
well,
Tina Halloween 5, worst person in the movie. Only time I voted for someone to kill someone.
how she die in? Does she die in the movie?
Yes, but it doesn't actually say me. But I've looked up, because even I looked up recently. It's just like, so
Yeah,
apparently she was one of the most hated characters in the movie.
yeah.
Like, because I remember watching the 25 Years of Terror, and they all had bad things to say about that character. It's just
She's
the most
very
annoying character, but yes.
yeah. That's why it took me a minute to realize what like Teen is like. Yeah, I know exactly what one you're talking about now. It took me a minute. So, oh, okay. I'm gonna try to think of one since you answered that one quite quick.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm like, that's a good one though. I'm like, oh, now I have to think of something. I'm like looking over here. I'm like, holy crap! I don't think I have any bad ones. I'll figure one out for sure. Uh, oh yeah. So I like. I haven't watched any. I haven't watched any of the later Paranormal Activities. So maybe there's one in there. I have that big box set too. I have all of it. I have,
Ooh. Oh, wait. There's way more than I thought. How many is there?
there is one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There's seven.
I think the last one I watched was it called the Marked Ones? Though I might have the title wrong.
Yeah, that's you're right. That's number 5.
Okay, so I wasn't aware there was any more after that because they never advertised them really after that for me. So
They got the Ghost Dimensions and Next of Kin. That's the latest one. So I'm yeah. Is it, hmm. It looks like an actual movie. It doesn't look like it's found footage. That's gonna be
oh,
interesting. Yeah. Well,
oh wow, okay,
at least from the steals on the photo steals on the back. So
okay, so definitely okay.
I heard that one's not very good at all. So maybe
Oh
um alrighty. I have to definitely have to go now. I'm
yeah,
like
that's fine.
I have to finish laundry. That's my goal for the night, and I want to watch.
That sounds like a horror. No, no.
Honestly, all the stuff that we talked about, laundry is still the scariest thing. So, um, Echo, I appreciate you keeping our facts straight, and Echo's really awesome about that.
Oh, Kill That Goat. That was the name. That's the other film I was thinking of. Kill That Goat. That's right. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
kill her goats. Yeah. Um,
That's right.
Echo will send
Probably
me.
find on YouTube.
Hopefully, Echo will send me all we need to watch, and I'll send you.
Awesome.
So, do you have any? Do you I always like to ask since you're new, since you're kind of new now, I think this is the first time you're on this channel now, and I'm more frequent with this channel. Like, do you have any places that you want to like let them know to follow you on or anything like that?
Oh,
I always like to
I'm
give it.
getting the publicity.
Yeah,
So um,
I know some of
so
our.
I have oh, God, I can't believe I do have a TikTok, and I've been currently making horror edits. I actually did a. I actually my next one doing. I did like a Halloween one. I don't know if you use TikTok.
I just recently have it because my wife is like she keeps sending me TikTok videos and then I can't watch them. It got to a point where I couldn't watch them anymore, and so I had to download them just and then now I'm like I don't really. That's not my go-to one. I think Instagram has the better videos in my opinion, even
Yeah.
though it's posts of TikTok videos at this point.
So I
Way
do gaming clips in it, but because I might start making my sort of edits again. So I'm sort of using that. So I'm gonna start making more horror edits. And then if I do start my YouTube thing, if I do go into that, I'm gonna start dropping my YouTube on that as well to like, give short teasers to the channel to make them go there. So I'm kind of trying to make a sort of publicity sort of thing.
I
So I'm
got
gonna
you.
try and do that. Yeah, I nearly got 170 followers. So again, um, but it's just like you said. It's when there's pressure, you want to make it good. So I'm slowly getting good at my edits. I'll send you my Halloween edit I made afterwards. I will send it to you.
Oh, cool.
Um, but yeah, I'd probably love to get some more, probably obviously more edit things and stuff like that. So that's what's helped me through because I recently came out of like sort of like addiction thing, and making stuff like that has really helped me. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and do that. So
Cool. Yeah. As always, I'm Max, my brother Max. Now, I used to be the one and only MSJ, but everyone
that's
in
it, yeah.
Max now. So I'm like, I think because the Wolfman, 13th Wolfman started it, and then everyone else started saying it, and then I'm just like, I'm stuck with it. I mean, I like it. It has. I'm very wrestling oriented, so I'm like, that does sound like a manager type name, Brother Max. It's like I'm like, I love it. So it's kind of like that's why the channel is called Brother Max now instead of the one.
Oh,
Everywhere else is still one and only MSJ, but YouTube is Brother Max. So it's either
awesome. I'll give you a subscribe, I think.
so yeah.
So make sure. Yeah, drop your follow.
Subscribe to Echo and everyone. Like we they do streams every. I don't know the schedule because the joke is I'm always at work, which is true, and I always pop in for like a couple minutes to say hi and just to kind of chit chat for a moment in the chat. But like they have the Boneyard, which is like they do watch alongs, which I
Yeah,
would do one day. Like me and you, kind of like team pick a movie and we'll do a watch along. And
yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah, they do those constantly and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, and we're just like it's a lot of fun. Yeah, yeah. I'm always at work when I'm yeah yeah exactly. So that's all. I'm gonna go do the horror that is called laundry. Hopefully, I can get it done before bed and watch me a movie. So, are you gonna watch? Final question. Are you gonna watch anything tonight, or it's like five?
Yes, I think I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, but so quick story. I have to meet my dad in the morning, so I just stayed up, and I have to meet him at like just before 7 because he doesn't know how to update a phone, which will take me 10 seconds to show him.
Gotcha.
So
All right.
I'll probably go watch Terrifier. I think
Okay.
I'm actually gonna go watch Terrifier.
Cool. Yeah,
So
that was also like us trying to coordinate because you're 5 hours ahead of me and everything, and Wolfman, he's 3 hours behind me, so I'm stuck between two time zones.
I think
And
I'm gonna start writing down ideas. So I'm gonna actually, because I got a pad, I'm gonna actually start. I'm actually getting really back into this, so I think I'm definitely down for doing this.
cool. Oh, same. Like I'm
Yeah,
usually
honestly,
I'll send you my work schedule because I don't want to say it on here, but like
yeah,
uh, I do at night is usually more. I know it's kind of hard if you don't mind staying up sometimes, but
yeah.
uh, but it's just like usually around 9 or 10 o'clock my time is usually when I'm like able to do stuff. So that's why I'm always here at night doing stuff. So okay. Um, so yeah, that's it for the day. And I thank you for doing this. Like I know I kind of just sprung it on you. It's like, hey, like you want to do a show this Sunday, and I appreciate you kind of carving out a little bit of time to do this with.
Honestly,
Yeah, I wasn't going to do a stream tonight, but like we talked about, it's like getting that urge to do things again and feeling good again, and it's like I want to keep that momentum going. So
I
so yeah.
hope it.
So yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you, Michael, for doing this.
Thank you.
It's it's. Our show is called Straight from the Brit's Mouth. I think,
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm like to remember what we called it. So I don't remember the episode, but I just called it like Spooky Season 2024. I think I just called it that. So, but yeah, hopefully we will do this one more time, at least horror, or at least Halloween themed episode before this month is over, and we have a lot. We have already have plenty of stuff to talk about before we before we get there. So that is all, and thank you, Echo, for being like once again our little fact checker in the comments and everything. I appreciate that, and goodbye.
Goodbye.